9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, 0.
Women's Wrestling Talk, the #1 women's wrestling network on the planet.
Say his name and he appears. I believe it said.
Oh, why does it look like that? Happy Monday, everybody. It's a little bit late on the West Coast, just about 7 minutes to 10:30, and I just got through finishing the Monday Night Raw for Monday, July 14th. Very good show on the heels of Evolution, Saturday Night Main Event, of course, NXT Great American Bash. And we're going to jump right into it. I don't have much time, but wanted to make sure I fed you guys today because we want to keep a good streak here for the Monday Night Mare. But we opened the show with our new Women's World Champion, Naomi, Feel the Glow, Proceed with Caution. And it was a great, fiery promo. And I love that we tied up some loose a post show last night when she said people wanted her to remain as the third wheel and not elevate and not grow whatsoever. I love that we're leaning into that. She's tying loose ends with Bianca and saying she outgrew Bianca. So all the stalking and stuff over months, and it kind of lets that kind of go that way while we move into Monday Night Raw, which is good. And we need that. We need some new talent, need some new storylines on Monday Night Raw because it's really just been the Rhea show for far too long. So starting with that, great to see Naomi really just talk her shit for the past 24 hours. She's getting a lot of love, rightfully so, from the journey she's had, dating back to Total Divas, Funkadactyl stuff, to now the TNA run. This feels like we're about to see like the final form of what this character is supposed to be. I feel like the Jade program did more to harm this new character, Naomi, more than it helped, just because she never beat Jade. And that's what sucks. And it seems like we're never going to get Naomi beating Jade, but at least now we see her as champion, and that was the end game all along. We now know that Io will get her rematch. Rhea will get another title shot at SummerSlam, which is the first 2-night SummerSlam ever, just in a couple weeks, where you're going to have Naomi defending the title against Io as well as Rhea in a triple threat. Not sure if I like the triple threat. I would have been here if it was just Io, because Io and Rhea put on a damn good performance. However, I don't see why Rhea deserves another shot. I mean, Io, I get, and I don't know. We'll see, but I'm here for it. Love Naomi's promo work. Love that she just controlled the crowd there. We're saying like, guess who's in charge now, bitches. What she said to Io was crazy about I don't understand you, or I'm not understanding what you're saying. But just great stuff all around. And coming off Evolution, which was widely received online, such a great show, front end to the back end. We had a night of Monday Night Raw that was heavy women influence. You would have thought that Shawn Michaels had the pin. You'd have thought that Hickenbottom had the pin tonight because we had all women's matches and then only one men's match being that gauntlet match. But we kicked it off with Kabuki Warriors for the Judgment Day, which kind of weird. Not gonna lie, we just got Asuka back. They did the whole thing with her and Io backstage, like, hey, this ain't Damage Control anymore. And then it looks like we're finally going to get this dark version of Asuka again. Everybody fears, and right back in tag team. Not mad at it. Love the Kabuki Warriors. Love her and Kairi's on-screen demeanor, their real-life friendship. But I don't know. Maybe we're protecting Asuka from the workload because she's still wearing a pretty thick, heavy knee brace. But I think that was weird. Great match overall. Roxanne Perez continues to shine. Raquel Rodriguez looks awesome as a powerhouse as well. If you saw on Twitter earlier today, she took some words Kevin Nash said about her playing too small to heart. So we might see the best of this tag team with Rox and Raquel going forward. They did pick up the win with some help from Dominic Mysterio, who's still nursing an injury somewhat and avoiding AJ Styles. But overall, good stuff. Finn is still backstage stirring up the pot with the Judgment Day, kind of sticking it to Liv indirectly and passive aggressive and saying, we're doing this for Liv. And it looks like this is just going to be a main storyline on Raw for like the next several months. So who knows how long Judgment Day will have all this gold. Everybody has a belt, two sets of tag team belts, as well as the Intercontinental Championship. Don't know what's going to give there. Don't know what the end game is, but we know we're going to get new contenders for Finn and JD next week. Second match of the night. 2 out of 3 falls. Bayley versus Lyra Valkyria. Match of the night. Easily match of the night. Bayley and Lyra put on a fucking clinic. And this is why you got the chance over the weekend about this being wrestling. If you haven't seen this match, this could have easily been another match that was on Evolution, but didn't. Actually, give me 1 second, guys. Let me get my charger. Right here. Okay. Like I was saying, this could have been a match that was easily on. That was 2 out of 3 falls, a lot of stops. Bayley, just the finish of the match alone, Bayley hitting that elbow, shouting out the CEO, shouting out her bestie, doing the crossface right afterwards, then pushing off the ropes when Lyra was getting close, and Lyra hitting her Nightwing finisher. It was a great match. And I think this first the rivalry with Becky, first and foremost, but then incorporating Bayley, another strong vet, is really brought out the best out of Lyra. And now Lyra is going on to take on Becky for a one-on-one shot at SummerSlam. So we're still going to play up the whole Becky's never beaten her one-on-one, all this other type of stuff. She had to cheat to beat her, I think, the time they did. But all in all, just showcasing Lyra, who was your inaugural champion. It would make you think that maybe it's time for Lyra to move on to world title contention. But now that if Io was still a champ, I would see it. But now that Naomi's the new blood on the roster, on the brand rather, I guess the IC title is her chase. Still would like to see some other women in this chase. But Lyra defeated Bayley 2 falls to 1, goes on to take on Becky. Nice touch by Becky coming out, pretty much leaning into the Becky Hogan stuff that she was receiving at Evolution, coming out in red and the yellow. If you missed that, very chef's kiss right there. We had Nikki Bella take on Chelsea Green. Very good match. Chelsea Green with the trash talk to La Primera backstage, saying La Primera means loser and La Chelsea Green means winner. Gold. Fucking gold. Chelsea Green is a national treasure, and those type of engagements on Raw is what make Raw so special. I would like to see the Secret Service get more run in the women's tag team division. I think Piper and Alba have been doing some great work, not only just with the character stuff for protecting Chelsea, everything they did in the Battle Royal, but just as an actual tag team in ring, they're on a heater right now. Nikki Bella picked up the win after hitting the Rack Attack 2.0. Very awkward ending, and Nikki alluded to this on Twitter that muscle memory is insane because somebody caught that she was setting Chelsea up for the original Rack Attack, but that's bad on her neck. Very chronicled neck injury that Nikki has, so it was kind of an awkward setup, and then she finally hit the Rack Attack 2.0. The Herbest attack, Piper fucking chest bumped the fuck out of Nikki too. That was crazy. That was a hard bump that Nikki took right there. But La Primera made the save. They cleared the ring. They stand tall. So you'll probably see some stuff with Chelsea Green taking on Stephanie McCurr over the next few weeks until Clash of the Castle, where Stephanie will get to call her shot versus whomever is the champion at that time. We now know that Jade will be taking on Tiffany Stratton at SummerSlam as well. What else do we have going on? We did have some backstage stuff with Cross, which I thought was pretty interesting. Him calling out Sami Zayn, saying he wants some words that he told him, which I find interesting because I love that Cross is getting FaceTime on Raw. We need more of that. But Sami Zayn got taken out just last week, and seems like we're going to still keep that feud going with him and Cross. The New Day, who are still mourning the death of the tag team division after the wrongful drop to the Judgment Day for whatever reason. They're dressed in all black. They did have a segment where they were going to, told by Adam Pearce, they're going to get a chance to earn a rematch next week. So we'll see what happens with the men's tag team side. Grayson Waller seems like he is now the butler or whatever of the New Day. Hasn't been around Austin Theory unless you see them arguing in backstage segments. Kofi bossed Waller around, told him to show Pierce the bargaining chip. And he told him to do it in the accent. So I don't know if that means Waller's a part of the New Day. But I would like it to continue to play out on screen like that, because I think that can be a very interesting thing, especially if Waller helps them recapture the titles and it leads to Austin Theory, who's been posting a lot of motivational videos lately, getting a strong babyface run. Gunther came out and cut a promo. If you saw Saturday Night's main event, I think I put the over under 10. I think the match went 14 minutes, him defeating Goldberg. Goldberg is now retired. Gunther is still your champion. And we had to learn who was going to be the next up to challenge Gunther. Gunther said he ended the myth and the hype of Bill Goldberg, and he said, who's next? To which Paul Heyman and Braun Breaker came out, and Braun Breaker pretty much planted his flag in the middle of the ring and saying it's going to be Braun Breaker versus Gunther at SummerSlam. Of course, with some from and just skipping through it, Braun Breaker, that is, he actually really ran the gauntlet. And Breaker actually started off with Penta, got Penta out of there, got LA Knight out of there. Then comes Jey Uso, who Jey Uso, obviously a former champ. Jey Uso, you thought might have had a leg up on Braun, where you could have saw it. I could have seen Jey beating Braun, even though Braun was on a complete heater. Paul Heyman giving him water between the rounds, an interesting touch. And Braun just looked like an absolute unit the entire time. Jey even had the upper hand to where he got another mid-match win. So Jey got so much motion that he's the hype part of Monday Night Raw now. Him being able to be in mid-match and call to his music for the back to start eating with the audience, nice touch. Very nice touch they did that. Jey wasn't robbed because there is no disqualification in gauntlet matches. Bronson Reed came out and gave Breaker an assist. Breaker eliminates Jey Uso. Then we get CM Punk, who is the final member of the gauntlet. One thing I like that I saw in this match from Breaker is he started showing more character work. And I think we've been seeing it over the past several weeks. Him kind of alluding to what Roman Reigns was doing in the pandemic, really breaking that fourth wall, talking to the camera. Him talking to Stu saying, hey, what time is it, Stu? It's not clobbering time. Him talking to CM Punk saying, hey, you're not going to win. Those are good things to keep this character going strong, especially in the absence of Seth. I think the rumor is 4 or 5 months he'll be out. Not to say that Seth won't be on screen during this time. He's still the Money in the Bank briefcase holder. They were holding his customized Money in the Bank. This is a perfect time for Breaker to continue to elevate into that main event space. And this kind of showed why he kind of belonged there. CM Punk eventually picked up the win. Jey Uso came back, got some revenge off Bronson Reed, helped CM Punk pick up the win against Breaker. One thing, I do not like them calling the Frankensteiner the Breaking Steiner. That is corny as hell, and it doesn't need to happen. But hey, Breaker looks strong. Doesn't hurt that Breaker went through 3 men, then loses to Punk. I think that still keeps that faction strong. They get the jump off on Jey and CM Punk after the bell. And we get the return of the OTC 1, I think we're calling him now. Roman Reigns' return, which is probably a terribly kept secret. I think we knew he was coming back, but really the complication comes from Seth Rollins' injury on Saturday night, where I'm pretty sure Reigns was coming for Seth tonight, and we're going to get Reigns versus Seth at SummerSlam. Now we don't know. They stayed with the plans of Roman Reigns, as well as Roman Reigns making the save against this new alliance here. But maybe we get Bronson and Braun versus Jey and Roman. I don't know. And honestly, I think that might be the first on-screen interaction that Roman has had with Jay in so long. So I think that's a good thing to see. We know Roman's going to be on Raw. Jay is main event Jay Uso on Monday Night Raw. I would love to see more of those interactions going forward so we can build Jay that he deserves to be on this show. A plus Monday Night Raw. A plus Monday Night Raw. Roman Reigns is back, standing tall. Women's wrestling Monday Night Raw. And I think that's important to see that the women can carry an entire show, not just a PLE that can carry an entire show, just like we did. We see it in NXT almost every week. We did it with the main roster on Monday Night Raw, and that's beautiful. And I think now we have some interesting storylines. We got CM Punk, who's going to be challenging Gunther at SummerSlam, Jade versus Tiffany Stratton, the triple threat with Naomi, Io, and Rhea Ripley. Well, I'm pretty sure we're going to get contenders for Rox and Raquel coming up soon, as well as the tag team titles. We have some very good stuff building towards SummerSlam. On top of Dom is going to get reevaluated by WWE Medical per Adam Pearce next week. And if he is cleared, he will be defending the IC title versus AJ Styles at SummerSlam. Got some good memes tonight from AJ praying to the heavens, and of course Gunther sitting in the rafters like Sting. But good Monday Night Raw overall. I'll give it an A+ because Evolution was such a strong show. They kept that momentum high by leaning on the ladies, and it was absolutely the right move. I got to get up out of here, y'all. This has been the Monday Night Post Show. I'm going to try to do a watch along with y'all real soon. Schedule's really busy, but I want to make sure I recap Raw with y'all. I'll try to get on here on Wednesday for live so we can kind of talk about what was this weekend of wrestling, especially AEW. I have some thoughts about that with the main event, feel good stuff, but also what's going on with Mercedes, Tony, and now Athena. We got a lot to talk about, y'all. Wrestling is just getting started. And until then, y'all, this is the #1 women's wrestling network on the planet. I'm your mayor. You can find me in the social streets on at Said Says, like it shows on the screen right here on Twitter. Said is the answer on TikTok, as well as the gram. Until next time, y'all, I will see you guys here on the #1 women's wrestling network on the planet. It's Women's Wrestling Talk, Monday Night Mayor. Good night, y'all.
Thanks for joining WWT. Don't forget to like us on all social media platforms at WW Talk Pod. Like and subscribe on all video and audio platforms, like yesterday, my G. And check out our website at www.talkpod.com. Thanks for watching. Women's